You are now tuned in to a Talkin' Shop Patreon community podcast.
This is the BumpNFeed.
Today, guys, we have a very special guest on the podcast. With me to my right, if I can get this camera ready here, is a wrestling women's legend, but currently a WoW superhero, a WWE developmental. From what years?
Oh gosh, years.
Go 5. Yeah.
Shoot, 07.
05 to 07.
Yes.
And if you played any of the wrestling video games, 10 years in motion capture. So you can thank her for all of your favorite moves on the WWE 2K series and maybe even some Raw vs. SmackDown. But nowadays, we're sitting in your gym. She is helping develop the next generation of wrestling male and females. So welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Aloha.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Before I get into anything I had to say, do you guys have any questions for Tracy or anything?
Yeah, I would just like to ask, not necessarily the sports side of it, but what got you into pro wrestling? Like, where did you develop your love for it?
So originally we started at OVW. Most people know that as Ohio Valley Wrestling. That's when it was under developmental contract with WWE. My husband and I, Micah Taylor, we moved from Hawaii with our 2 kids, and we bought a Suburban and we just drove it to Louisville, Kentucky. And we didn't have any idea where we were going to stay or anything like that, but we started the beginner class. And then my love for it just developed from there. Like at first, the next day after I took all those bumps, I was really doubting if I really wanted to stick with it or not. But then I guess it was the challenge of becoming better, that kept me with it.
Oh, that's cool. That's super, super interesting. I've met Micah. We used to all work at the Lariato shows together. And
Yeah.
Your daughter also she was involved. Is she still involved?
She's somewhere in the building right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rad. That is super cool. Yeah, that's very, very interesting.
And I challenge some of you guys, this is kind of a little sidebar, but other than my direct family, to find someone that has known me longer than Tracy, Mina, Micah. I mean, since I was born? You knew my mom when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So I had a little personal question. Was it weird kind of seeing me transition from just like the kid to in here training?
It was very, there's always moments that you have that are just kind of like surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like you're in slow motion. And, just going back to when I first met your mom and, finding out she was pregnant and then like meeting you as a baby and then you as a toddler and then you playing with my kids, and my daughter babysitting you. It was just, and then seeing you now, like, holy crap. It's been fun to watch.
If anybody here, we'll plug everything else, but if there's any local into the Georgia area, great school, New Era's Fitness and Wellness. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll plug that more at the end, but I do have some more questions. So you hit on how you got into it. What age were you? I don't know if you mentioned that.
I think I was 26.
26?
25, 26, something like that. When we first started like the indies in
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii. And then that's when Micah decided, I really want to take this seriously. He had a conversation with Dwayne Johnson at 24 Hour Fitness, and he basically told him, if you really want to get into this business, you have to get off the island. And that's what made him ultimately move his whole family.
Yeah.
And when we went to the beginner class, the head trainer, he looked at Mike and he was like, so is it just you or is it both of you? And then Mike looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, why are you looking at me? And he's like, you want to do it? And I was like, okay. And that's how it happened.
So were you a fan growing up?
I was not.
Oh.
I was not. It wasn't because I didn't want to be. It was just, it wasn't something that was in our house.
It was foreign to you.
Yeah. And nobody, I watched Glow. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up. I watched Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. with my sister, and we pretended to be wrestlers in our living room, jumping off our couches, but we didn't watch the male side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until Mike was in the military and he got really into it, and he used to watch it every night, and I was just the housewife, like making dinner, and I was like, oh my God, what are we watching tonight? Are we watching this again? And so then I got into it. I got into it during the time where Stephanie McMahon was marrying, was it
Test?
Test,
Yeah.
yes.
Test.
It was around that era.
Okay.
And then I saw Trish Stratus walk out, and I was like, oh, she's pretty. She's gonna fight. Oh my God. Okay. And then it like really drew me in, and then I saw all the other girls fighting and doing the promos. It was like a soap opera. So then I got into it. It was fun.
Awesome. So one thing that really jumped off when I was going through looking at all your credentials and your long resume is I'm a lover of wrestling video games. So can you talk about, you said motion capture for 10 years. I knew Micah did that. I did not know you were as much involved with that. So what does like that look like, from just strapping up and doing the moves, or like how does that all happen?
So when I first got asked to do it, we all went down there. They put these suits on us with the little sensors, where the LED lights that pick up the little balls that you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're basically just a stick figure when you see yourself on the monitor. And then they go in later and they put the hair on you, the costumes, and make you who they want you to be. But you have to do all the moves exactly what is being shown on the Titantron. So if you can't do, I don't know, Beth Phoenix's move,
mm-hmm.
then they got to find somebody else to do it. But I guess they liked me so much because I could do everybody's moves. And so they were just like, we'll just use her.
Yeah.
We don't have to bring anybody else. But sometimes, every once in a while, they would bring another girl in just to have, a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I was the main girl.
So was there like one superstar or women superstar that jumps out to you that you kind of can remember being like difficult, maybe a power girl, a high flyer that was kind of hard to replicate what they wanted from you?
Oh gosh, it was, what's her name? She still wrestles. Gosh, she's married to one of the Samoans.
Oh,
she's very athletic.
Gosh, Naomi.
Yes. They wanted me to do the splits moonsault.
Oh.
And I tried a couple of times, and I was like, and they're like, you think you can do it? I'm like, yeah, I mean, we just got to go. Like, I can't practice this. This is something I just got to do. And they were like, they were about to let me do it, and then they just stopped it. And they were like, you know what? We'll just have a guy do it. It's fine. Nobody will know the difference.
I got you. So, what years were this time frame wise? Like,
this was 2007 to 2016.
Oh wow! So you covered a lot of from the Raw versus SmackDown into the 2K era. Okay.
Yeah. So we were with THQ first, and then they went bankrupt, and then 2K bought them. But we were down in San Diego for a couple of things with Sony, and like they were in transition. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So I think one of the questions we had hit on earlier, what has kept you, I would say, what's kept your love alive for professional wrestling through the highs and lows? You can even hit on what some of those highs and lows are, but what has kept you going and just, waking up every day and loving pro wrestling and keep doing it?
I think the people in it, that everybody that I've met, my daughter, she's the main one that keeps me going. When she decided that she wanted to be a wrestler, I was in the middle of deciding whether I was going to retire or keep going. And she announced to us that she wanted to be a wrestler.
So
and
then you can't retire.
Yeah, I was like, I can't retire yet. And so then we started training at the Good Brothers Dojo. That's when I was thinking about stopping.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember her early days of coming in, and I've known Mina a long time, but I didn't. It was kind of same for me. Like you kind of thought there was a chance, but you didn't quite know, and then they're just there one day.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool that I'm obviously second generation. You have a daughter doing it that actually is training here and does shows all around Georgia and I think some other places too, right?
Right.
So that's really cool.
She's booked more than me.
So I know you're currently doing the WoW. You call it the Superheroes?
Yeah, WoW Superheroes.
I believe I have a good friend, Nigel, who's pretty involved with WoW, right?
Yeah.
So what's the environment of that like right now? I've actually went to the early tapings when Amber was on there.
Okay.
We won't hit on that too much. But what's like, do you like it there? Like, is the environment?
I love it there. Awesome. Like, I think I finally found my place. And I think, my character does really well there. I think my character is just very wow-ish.
Yeah.
You know, she's a superhero. And for my level, also, it's very at my pace.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do anything crazy. They love old school wrestling. And so I get to show off a lot of my old school talents.
Awesome. So another thing, do you guys, I feel like I'm kind of dominating this. Do you guys have anything you want to ask or anything you interested in or?
Yeah, so now that my video's working, I got it
He's
up and
back.
going. I'm back. If anybody's watching on the video form, I'm back. So I thought you getting started in Hawaii was really cool, but I think my question when you were talking about it, so you guys just had two kids and you just packed up and said, let's move to Ohio or Kentucky and let's be a professional wrestler
Yes.
with
So
two kids.
yes, we picked it. So his mom kind of gave him the challenge. She was like, "Well, if you want to do it, do it. Don't just talk about it, you know." And so he put in a transfer with his work to Louisville, somewhere in Kentucky. He put a transfer in for his job, and he was waiting for that to go through. And once it went through, we bought plane tickets and we went and stayed with my dad for a little bit in North Carolina, where we bought a Suburban. And then he had his start date for his other work. And I was like, okay, where are we going? He's like, I don't know. We're going to go get a hotel. I'm going to go to work. You're going to go find a place and we'll go from there. And so we did everything with two kids. And I think Mina was a year old.
Wow.
Yeah. And I
Wow.
was 5.
Yeah, that's insane. Having kids myself, I just feel like it would have to be scary because the what ifs of, this not working out in the back of your mind the whole time. So to up and leave, your home, especially in Hawaii, all the way to Kentucky, that's pretty crazy of a story. I don't think I've ever heard anybody doing it with children. So,
It was
hey, hats off to you on that one. That's crazy.
Thank you. It was very unheard of back then, and people thought we were nuts. Like they thought I was nuts because I was in they expected Mike to be in the beginner class. He's a guy. But then one day I was setting the ring up with everybody, and I had the little backpack on. I had Mina in it. I had Isaiah next to my side, and I'm carrying planks and I'm carrying everything for the ring, and I'm helping set up. And then Mike Bucci was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Go sit down. We got guys to do that." And then Mike comes up and he's like, "Oh, dude, she's in the beginner class. Like, they told her she has to do this." It's like, oh, I'm sorry. But nobody, I didn't read it.
Are you okay with the lifestyle question?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So nobody, like, there were a couple girls that looked down on me for it too. Like, they were just like, "Oh, you want to do this with kids? Like, what are you thinking?" And we were just such a strong knit family that we took our kids everywhere. Like, they went everywhere with us. We didn't go anywhere without them.
That's very
Yeah.
common for the Islanders and most cultures, I think, outside the United States. I'm kind of
Right.
want to screw that up. But I think most cultures, you always hear of like the family bond just being so strong. So I guess that translates to Hawaii as well.
Yes.
Speaking of family, I remember seeing you guys not too long after I met you and Micah, and Mina, on Wife Swap, as the, touted kind of as the wrestling family. And could you tell us a little bit about that and how that whole experience was and how it came about?
So it came about just out of the blue. Mike, brought it to my attention one day that Wife Swap was looking at us. They were looking at another family in Georgia too. And I was kind of apprehensive to do it at first just because I know how reality shows are. They want to dig into your past. They want to dig into your lives. But I didn't really have anything to hide. But at the same time, I just didn't want it to come between us as a family and like tear us apart. Because I know like a lot of reality shows are known for doing that.
Correct.
But as we got involved and they were interviewing us, like we passed the first test and then we passed the second test. And then all of a sudden we were going. And I was like, okay, here we go. So I wasn't really mentally prepared for any of it. It was just kind of happening. I was just there and they would show up and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing. Okay. And I just went with the flow. But all in all, it was a great experience. It was fun and I would do it again.
So to go off that show, do you think the past in wrestling and just like the the craziness that is the wrestling business help better prepare you for that show than just like say like your average everyday Joe family that wants to be a reality star?
It did. I think wrestling has helped me in all avenues of my life. I mean, it's helped me come out of my shell. It's helped me like talk about myself. You know, normally I'm just very introverted. I'm very private. I don't tell anybody anything. I know I have a lot of social media pages, but I'm very private. But no, I think it's definitely helped.
Awesome. So let's move into what we're here now. What was like the transition and the idea? What kind of sparked I want to start a wrestling school? Because I know you were very into fitness and you had the gym, but was it just kind of one day like I would love the wrestling school to have that, or like what started that?
Okay, so during wife swap, we decided that, and I think your dad was going on the road, and so we initially brought Good Brothers Dojo into our gym, which was known as the Underground back then. And we kind of took it over while your dad was on the road, and then we were on wife swap. And after that, with Micah's passing and everything, we decided that we wanted to keep it going. We wanted to keep his vision going, and we wanted to because the guys started to come back. Like all the wrestlers started to come back one by one. They were asking if I, because they found out I had a wrestling ring still. And they asked if I was willing to, open the gym up to people. And then Spiral came back. And then all of a sudden we were like, hey, let's do it again.
Yeah. And I don't know how many what would you consider like this class wise? Like, are we like your first, second, third? Like, since you fully like full fledged like opened it back, like how long are you into having this like thing back operational weekly?
Well, we have 3 classes. I don't really understand the question.
Well, it was kind of a layered question. It didn't make sense once I spat it.
Okay.
I'm new in the interviewing thing. So how long has this place been back? Because I knew the Good Brothers Dojo. Like, how long have you been back after Mike's passing since, having the weekly classes?
Oh, okay. So after, I want to say about a year. Okay. Because that's when Spiral came back. And then I guess it was just a healing thing for both of us, like to try to, get something going again, just to keep our minds off of, the tragedy. But the guys coming in, like I said, were helpful. Like they helped, keep it going and helped it became a positive thing.
And now you're stuck with Brody and I.
Now I'm stuck with
Tell us about Brody. We love Brody.
Brody he's one of our favorites on the show because he's actually here somewhere, I think, or coming, but he's a legend in his own right. And he's been weirdly side by side in my wrestling in the beginning of it, but even back to my younger days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I definitely, you guys remind me of AJ and Dave. Yeah. Like you guys are going to be like.
Am I AJ?
You guys are going to definitely wrestle each other a lot on the indies.
100%.
You guys are going to be, the ones to trust each other and do all those crazy things together. So in that retrospect.
Do you remember, I don't think I've ever asked you this, but being around me so much and Dad and Mike and you guys being friends with family, do you remember seeing him as like a younger kid, like running around the shows? Because he was definitely there.
Who was that?
Brody.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember him running around there, and I don't remember him. He gave me a video of himself doing something in the ring. And I said, when were you in my gym? I don't remember him at all.
Well, shout out to, we're going to have Brody on the show so much because he's such a character. He's going to have to be a guest soon. But before I just keep rambling on, does anybody else have anything? I know we want to hit on the road stories, but before that.
Yeah, that was my next question was the road stories. Or hey, if we're gonna wait on the road stories, do we have any embarrassing Cade stories?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, I just remember him being a little shit.
I thought we were talking about in the school. Oh yeah, growing up 100%. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Mina, that was Mina. She was like, she goes, I had to babysit him all the time. And he would just I guess you were mean to her. Like,
Probably.
you wouldn't listen to her or whatever. She was like, I'm just gonna take a nap. And then you went over and like gave her a kiss on the forehead. Like,
Well,
it went away.
I've stayed true to my colors.
No, that was funny. Embarrassing cake stories. I don't know. Like what?
I try not to embarrass myself too much. No, I try anything I think will embarrass myself. I usually let someone else take the spotlight for me. But before we get into the new the road story, which I definitely want to hear because everybody's got a great one, do you want to talk a little bit about your newest venture in making wrestling gear?
Yeah, I mean, that was another thing that Micah and I did together to pay our bills. That's how we started paying our bills actually at OVW. We
Oh, so this isn't a new thing.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
We used to make everybody at OVW, everybody on the road, we used to make their gear.
Oh, wow.
And we've done a lot of gear for people that are, legends on TV, like Tommy Dreamer, Jazz, Victoria,
Wow.
Simon Dean, La Resistance. I mean, I could go on and on. We've done a lot of people's gear. MVP, Carlito. So that was how we actually paid our bills when we lived in Louisville. That's how we made our money. And then we did it for a little while here too to get the gym going. And then I set up my room over here inside the gym and I let it sit for like 6 months. And I just had anxiety about going in there and doing it by myself. And then one day I made a pair of tights and I did it all by myself. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm making gear now. And now it's taken off.
So if anybody out there needs gear, we will drop the links of all her stuff at the end of this. But you know who to call. I mean, listen to the list of legends. So she can do it at a very high quality and hopefully affordable.
It's very affordable.
Okay. Well, so now I guess we'll go into our last topic. Everyone probably wants to hear. What's like your best road story that really summarizes what wrestling is?
Okay. Well, okay. One has to do with your dad being in the car.
Oh, boy.
So we used to, have this Suburban that we went to all our shows in, and me being the diva, I always got to like lay out in the back with the kids and the dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so every time we were on the road, Mike would have this BP gas station on speed dial, the same BP gas station all the time. And they would call and prank them. And him and your dad were up there pranking the BP, asking if they sold sex pills or if they sold condoms or if they like whatever they would. And then the guy would always hang up on them and they would call him back, hang up on them, call him back, hang up. And I just remember one night, I don't even remember if this was the same night or whatever, but they got into it with a semi truck and almost caused like a huge accident because they were, I guess the semi truck was being a jerk to them too and cutting them off. And all I remember is waking up to a semi truck. Like I woke up and I sat up and I saw this semi truck just like slamming on his brakes, and we were stopping because Mike brake checked him, and the semi truck was just turning sideways and like coming at me. And I'm like, oh my god! Like, what are you guys doing? But yeah, crazy stuff like that.
Well,
That sounds like a gallows involved story.
that's gonna be.
I have a lot. I have a lot. I mean, they made one of our trainees stick his ass out the window for a period of time on the freeway because he didn't tell a funny joke. They made him tell a funny joke, and if it wasn't funny, then they were gonna, regardless if it was funny, they still gonna make him sit out the window and stop him out.
Wow.
That's going to be a hard one to top. So I'll be interested going forward. I think you've just set a pretty high bar that some of these other guys might not be able to set or be able to meet. And hopefully, since we're on his network, not many of them involve that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, do you have anything more while we have Tracy's time or?
I do
No, I
not,
just
other than I would like to invite Tracy back and do like a real long form episode. I think that would be pretty awesome.
Well, you
I'd
can
love
ask.
to. Yeah, I'd
Awesome.
love to.
Well, so we're going to give you the platform now. We're going to wrap it up, but plug anything, social medias, the gym, phone numbers, whatever you want to, put yourself out there and
Okay.
speak to our audience.
All right. So if you're looking for a gym in the McDonough area, McDonough, Georgia, we are New Era Fitness and Wellness. We are particularly a personal training facility, but you can come and use the gym if you want. It's $20 a month. We also have a pro wrestling school here. It's Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. You just have to call 770-685-5735, or just show up because we're always here.
That's what I did.
You can follow me on social media under the Island Girl TT, Island Girl Wow. I have like 10 million pages, so you can follow any one of those.
Awesome. Awesome. Is that all you want to put over the wrestling gear? Or?
No, I mean, if you need gear, give me a call. I'd rather do guys' gear rather than girls' gear. So, like, if you're a girl and I don't know you,
Leave her alone.
I would get them all just because I'm not really that great at girl stuff yet, and I know their stuff is more intricate nowadays than it used to be back then. So, and I'm great at guys' gear.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I will see you in practice in a couple minutes because we do have training today. But like we do always, guys, you guys want to plug your stuff?
Yeah, just make sure you're following the Bump and Feed on Instagram. Make sure you're following the Bump and Feed on YouTube. All social platforms. You can find my personal at Hill Emerson. I do a lot of posting with about the Bump and Feed on my personal account. So just follow there. Cabana, take it away, brother.
Yeah, definitely follow the Bump and Feed. My personal, Andrew Hess 86 on Instagram. I appreciate all the new followers.
All right. Well, I guess you guys got to hear me talk one more time. Follow me on Instagram. I say it every week, but I'm going to keep saying it because I don't have enough followers. @_CJ Gallows. Twitter is just CJ Gallows. Facebook, it has come to my attention that is still Cade Hankinson. So I got to go back in there and try to change it again. But Cade Hankinson on Facebook. And yeah, guys, run up the Bump and Feed podcast. We got new merch, shirts, hoodies, t-shirts, shorts, coffee mugs, whatever you want. I think we just about cover it all. But until then, be on the lookout for anything that is Bump and Feed. We got a lot of new interviews coming in. And then make sure you drop your questions that you have. We do our fun question every week on the actual podcast. And drop any content you'd like to see us see. Make us make, I should say, because we'd love to hear what you guys would like to see, and maybe we can do some of it for you. But until next time, guys, peace.
We're out.
See you guys.
See ya.